So how does something ancient go viral? I mean, really viral. Today, we're going to dive into something pretty amazing. A 3,000-year-old songbook, the Book of Psalms, and figure out how it's managed to stay not just relevant, but deeply personal in our crazy, hyper-digital world. All right, let's get into it. It really is a fascinating puzzle, isn't it? I mean, how does ancient media, we're talking scrolls and chants, survive, let alone thrive, in an age that's all about fleeting content? You know, stuff that's gone in 24 hours. Well, today, we're going to unpack exactly how the Psalms pulled off this incredible feat. Okay, so first things first, let's kind of reframe how we think about the Psalms. This isn't just some dusty old religious book. No way. It's a collection of 150 pieces of incredibly powerful, emotional media. Honestly, you can think of it as the original viral content, stuff that was literally designed to be shared, sung, and most importantly, deeply felt. All right, so what's the secret sauce here? What gives them this incredible staying power? Well, to figure that out, we've got to look at what the Psalms were actually designed to do in the first place. You see, the Psalms are basically like a toolkit for navigating the entire human experience. It's kind of incredible. Are you feeling anxious? Well, there's Psalm 91, which offers this sense of protection. Grieving a loss? Psalm 23 is there for comfort. Celebrating a win? Yep, there's a psalm for that too. Each one is this practical, super targeted resource for specific emotional need. And that is what makes them so intensely personal and universally relatable, even thousands of years down the line. Okay, to really see how this works, let's zoom in and look at a specific case study. We're going to focus on Psalm 9. So Psalm 9 kicks off with this really powerful declaration of gratitude. But here's the thing, it's not just a simple thank you. The author almost immediately pivots to this passionate, raw plea for justice. It creates a message that's both deeply personal and, yeah, pretty politically charged. At its heart, what Psalm 9 does so brilliantly is hold two seemingly opposite ideas in tension. On one hand, you've got this profound sense of a divine presence, and on the other, a really raw acknowledgement of the world's injustices. It gives voice to both hope and hardship, and that's exactly why it resonates so deeply with people. So what you end up with are these 5 core themes, all working together. And it's this incredibly rich blend of gratitude, justice, praise, hope, and assurance that makes an ancient piece of writing feel so immediate, so relevant to the very real struggles that you and I face today. And here's where it gets really wild. What's absolutely remarkable is that we can literally see this exact same conversation playing out across millennia. Think about it. Centuries and centuries ago, you had early Christian thinkers like Augustine. They're reading the Psalms during times of just intense persecution, and they're asking this raw, gut-wrenching question. With all this suffering around us, where is that justice our ancestors told us about? Okay, now let's fast forward, way forward to today. Here's a user on a social media app called Lemon8, and they're reflecting on the exact same theme. They're finding this personal assurance in the idea of a divine oversight to help them cope with very modern forms of oppression and injustice. So you see what's happening, right? The technology has completely changed, the specific circumstances are different, but that fundamental human need for justice, for hope, for some kind of assurance, that remains exactly the same. The conversation just keeps going. It's just happening on different platforms now. So that brings up a great question. Where are these timeless conversations happening today? Well, as you can probably guess, they've moved way beyond the traditional physical spaces. These digital platforms, comment sections, forums, social media apps, they've essentially become our new town squares. These are the modern places where people gather to share what they think, to find their community, and to connect over these really deep, shared experiences. And it's amazing to see. People are weaving these ancient words into the very fabric of their modern lives in all these creative ways. They're using them for Bible journaling, for prayer routines, as meditation guides, and they're sparking these really lively online discussions, building whole vibrant digital communities around these shared texts. But let's not forget a crucial piece of the puzzle. The Psalms weren't just poems to be read silently. They were songs. They were meant to be sung. So that begs the question, how were these ancient melodies getting remixed for our modern audio-driven world? Well, a huge part of the answer lies in something called pod-safe music. Now, you can think of this as a kind of modern-day hymnal. It's this enormous library of legal, royalty-free music that creators can just grab and use to set the perfect mood, to evoke a specific emotion, and to build a totally unique sonic identity for their content. I mean, a modern storyteller has this whole toolkit of audio elements they use to shape the listener's journey, right? You've got the intro music that hooks you in right at the start. Then there's the background music that keeps you engaged. And finally, that outro music that leaves you with a lasting feeling or a final thought. And boom, that is the connection. It's brilliant. These audio tools we use today, they are the direct modern equivalent of the original melodies and the poetic structures that made the Psalms so darn memorable and emotionally powerful in the first place. It all comes down to this idea of audio branding. It's all about using a consistent sound to create a memorable identity and, crucially, to build trust. Think about it. Just like the specific melodies of the Psalms would trigger feelings of reverence or hope or community in ancient listeners, a show's theme music creates this powerful, almost subconscious connection with its audience. It instantly tells you, hey, you're in the right place. It's like an auditory shortcut to a shared identity. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if it's an ancient poem set to a lyre or a modern digital show with a slick intro. The tools, the technology, that stuff is always changing. But that fundamental quest to share a message that connects with our deepest, most universal human emotions, our need for hope, for justice, for community, that is what truly lasts forever.